Ok?
Ok.
Ok, então vamos lá? Pode ir? Pode ir na PAN aqui, diretamente de Goiânia, diretamente do centro do Brasil e agora, por que não, centro do mundo. Afinal, mais de 20 delegações e federações estão aqui para prestigiar esse evento único, Five Ciano, G20, YEA, os jovens empreendedores aliando-se para discutir visões para 2030. And now we're here with Fahad
Hi.
from Saudi Arabia, and he's going to be talking to us. And then, well, first of all, thank you very much for being here,
Thank you for
Fahad.
having me, Marcus. It's been a pleasure to be here. Thank
Oh,
you.
that is really nice. Fahad, can you
Yes.
tell me a little bit about yourself so you can introduce yourself?
Sure, absolutely. So, first of all, thank you, Marcus, for having me here. It's a pleasure to being here. This is my first time here in Brazil and South America. It's really interesting, it's really amazing. Thank you to the Brazilian people. They are very kind, sweet to us. And I'm very proud to be saying that I've visited Brazil, and I'm so happy to be here in Brazil. So, my name is Fahad. I am the KSA Operation Manager at Astrolabs. I myself have helped expand more than 150 companies in Saudi Arabia, so just me, myself. I've been doing this through guiding them through their guidance, guiding them, finalizing their paperwork in Saudi, finding them the right partner so that they can understand the Saudi market and can actually invest and come and move their company to Saudi.
Oh, that is so nice. And after this great introduction, we can talk a little bit about the G20 that is
Yes.
happening here, and what about the vision for 2030, and because things are shifting so quickly, right?
Yes. So let me first take you back to 2016 with when the Royal Highness Mohammed bin Salman, God bless him, he have announced the vision of 2030. So back in 2016, he announced the vision of 2030, and the full aim of Vision 2030 is to diversify Saudi from becoming an oil reserves. So we are not going to depend on oil, and we're going to focus on non-oil sectors to change the development of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia and bring different economic growth to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. So the vision of 2030, if you go back in 2016, our population was almost 34 million and our GDP was almost $650 billion. And today where we are, our GDP have increased to almost 30%, and now we are at $900,000 billion, and our population increased by 15%. The interesting fact about Saudi is that 63% of our population are actually youth under the age of 30.
Got
This
it.
shows that how young is the Saudi nation, how ambitious is the Saudi nation, which aligned with Vision 2030, because one of the main pillars about the Vision 2030 is the ambitions of Saudi. We as Saudi, we came all the way 30 plus hours to come to Brazil, all the way to showcase what we have in our country. We are passionate, we love what we do in our country. So we really like the ambitions of happening in Saudi, and we are seeing a huge investment that's happening in Saudi Arabia.
That is so nice. And then you're talking about this youth, and then
Yes.
the technology and innovation that is going on. And we cannot ask you other than what are Astrolabs,
Yes.
about Astrolabs,
Yeah.
and how it helps startups to
Sure.
move,
Yeah,
or
yeah.
ventures.
Sure. So basically, Astrolabs is the Gulf Leading Expansion Platform. We call ourselves the Gulf Leading Expansion Platform because we have helped more than 650 companies to expand only to the Saudi Arabia, and we've helped more than 1,500 companies to move to the region between Dubai and Saudi. We have like more than 100 employees that are empowering the growth in the region, and we have shown our expertise by our partners and collaborating with our partners. So what do I mean by a platform? So a platform is basically where we focus on one sector, so we are sector enablers, and we are just not an expansion company. No, we are a business growth company where we help companies to grow. So how we do this is through our programs that we run. The first thing is we help companies solely to expand their businesses to Saudi, providing them with market insight, helping them to understand the market, what are the processes that they need, as well as hand-holding them through the process, like setting them up, go through the process of the setup process, finding them the right partners, providing them with office solution, talents, all of these things. So they make sure that they are compliant in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. We also run programs with partners with governmental agencies as well as big leading global companies. For example, now we are running a project for Green Mega Accelerator, it's called. This Green Mega Accelerator is a partnership between Astrolabs, PepsiCo, and SABIC. SABIC is one of the leading companies in Saudi Arabia. The focus of this collaboration and program is to build the climate tech sector in Saudi Arabia, because there is a gap in the climate tech, and they want to invest in climate tech companies. So where we come in and we do that. We do some innovations programs as well, where we help companies to innovate, and especially we partner with leading global companies to innovate and provide new businesses. So we normally treat big companies as startups to generate new ideas and develop their businesses. So that's how we do it in Astrolabs, as well as helping the companies to come to the Saudi market and see what are the opportunities that are there in Saudi.
That is so nice. And then you're saying about this huge opportunity opportunity, that market.
Yes.
Could you give an example of what are the sectors and the opportunities
So-
that are most valued in Saudi?
Absolutely. So there is no specific sectors in Saudi that is booming because as I said in the beginning about Vision 2030, where I said that the vision's focus is to invest in a non-oil sectors, and that's tourism, that's hospitality, we are speaking about gaming, and also the traditional sectors such as technology, such as construction, manufacturing. And one of the examples that I will give is the tourism, for example. Our Vision 2030 have a target to attract more than 100 million tourists to Saudi by 2030. Today, we are at 106 million. So we are halfway through, and we already reached our target for 2030. So you can imagine what is happening in Saudi. Yet, the big events that's happening in Saudi, we have Expo 2030 that's happening in Saudi. Expo 2030 gonna attract between 40 to 60 million people only to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. We have the World Cup 2034 that we have recently bid, that we are expecting that we will have more than 10 billion economic growth only from the World Cup. So you can see this sector is booming in Saudi. NEOM, for example, that I gave an example about.
Perfect.
It's a new city that's been built from scratch. And if you are building a new city from scratch, they are investing $500 billion just for this city. And you can imagine that city is being built from scratch. This city is going to be zero emissions, going to be a fully sustainable city. And you can imagine the type of investment that's needed there. We need so many constructions, we need so many technologies, we need educations, you need to focus on all these sectors to be part of what's happening in Saudi. And if you're going to ask, is it late to come to Saudi? No, it's never late. Still, we are halfway through. We are not late. We are still there to come to the Saudi market. So there are opportunities. There are so many opportunities in all sectors, whether it's tradition or whether it's new sectors.
Oh my God, and it's really exciting to hear you talk about Saudi because you really feel what you're saying and
Indeed,
then you believe
yes.
and you've seen.
Yeah, and
More than that.
I'm one thing, like maybe you're not gonna believe me, but whenever I travel and I come back to Saudi, I see something new. And you can imagine how fast things is moving. It's really moving fast. Like to a sprint rate that we cannot believe it, honestly.
What about the incentives?
Yeah.
Because you said like all these huge opportunities that have, but the incentives, especially for startups and tech companies and things for the young to go there.
So we as an entrepreneur enablers or startups, or then we see it, we know that there is no economy that will grow without startups, without entrepreneurships. And we know most of these new projects that we are seeing, like let's give an example for the phone. Who invented the phone was an entrepreneur in the beginning. So there wasn't nothing about phone. He came with an idea and he built the phone. And the same thing for electricity. So we still think that these entrepreneurs that are going to bring innovative ideas are the ones who will be leading the economy in Saudi. And in Saudi, and back to Vision 2030, and I know that I'm circling everything about Vision 2030 because this is what the fact in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, they want the private sector to contribute to our GDP by 2025, which is next year. So they're investing a lot in entrepreneurs and they are attracting a lot of entrepreneurs. I would like to highlight the amazing job the Ministry of Investment in Saudi Arabia is doing. So the Ministry of Investment are the key enablers for any company looking to come to Saudi, especially from Brazil or any other country worldwide. They have provided incentives and they have reduced the amount of fees and they provide them with the support going forward. We have a full entity, a governmental entity called Munshaat in Saudi, which is the small medium enterprises process or entity that helps the small companies and startups. We have a small medium enterprise bank that provides funding to small companies. We have the premium residency, which you've heard maybe about. It's premium residency. They have incentives only for entrepreneur. We have a residency for entrepreneur. So only if you are an entrepreneur, you can feel so many incentives in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia for you to come, whether it's financial, whether it's support, whether it's guiding you through what you're doing, whether it's opportunities for you. Because there are so many opportunities that you can be part of, specifically that if you have an idea that's patent, if you have an idea that's unique, and if you are bringing something to the Saudi economy and the market.
Fahad, is there any big, huge projects that you can talk or share with us about, especially like NEOM, like you said, that's
Yes.
awesome. When I heard about it, when I saw that, I especially was like, oh my God, that's huge.
Yes, so I will highlight 3 big projects that's happening in different sectors. Maybe I will go 4, because there are more than 15 big giga projects. So we don't say mega project, it's giga project because how huge it is.
That is so nice. That's like a new word here.
Yeah, exactly. So one of the things that I highlighted was just you mentioned NEOM. Basically, what does NEOM mean, and how did we become or brought the name NEOM for this city specifically? NEOM consists of 2 different words. Neo, which is N-E-O, that's from the ancient word means new. And the word M means modern, so it's the new modern. So it's the new city, it's the future, basically. So it is basically a city from the future, honestly. That's how they are saying. And if you can go and see the pictures of what's happening in NEOM and the projects or the cities and the investment that they're doing in NEOM, as Saudi was saying that it's a sci-fi. This cannot be real. There's no way this can be real. Like, I see this in a Marvel movies or something. I don't see it in real life. I see it in cinemas only. But now it's live. We are seeing it. It's being built. It's a huge 500 billion project. So you can imagine the investment they are putting in this city, and it's going to be one of the largest projects or largest cities that's going to be fully zero emissions, as I mentioned earlier. There will be very sustainable, huge sustainability, as well as there are going to be like so many greeneries that's happened. They want to bring the best tech worldwide, the best trees worldwide, the best, because we know that some of the plants, for example, in the agriculture, and we know the agriculture is huge here in Brazil. So the agriculture sector, they are planning to plant trees that we know that it's not going to survive in Saudi, but they're going to do factories, they're going to build places, they're going to put air conditions for these trees to survive in Saudi. So you can imagine how this can.
God.
One fact about NEOM as well, and you know maybe you've heard about, do you know that the Saudi snow?
The Saudi snow? No, I don't.
It's going to be, they're going to do it, yes. And we're going to hold the Winter Olympics in Saudi. It's going to be skiing in Saudi, it's going to be in NEOM. So you can imagine, this is happening in Saudi.
Oh my God.
So that shows you how big it is, things. Yes.
Giga projects,
Giga
right?
projects.
Okay.
The other project I want to highlight is Qiddiya.
Qiddiya.
Qiddiya project is the biggest entertainment city worldwide. So it's going to be the biggest entertainment city worldwide. So it's amazing. It's going to be like huge. There are so many things that's happening. It's going to be the biggest city that's going to be for sport, entertainment. They're going to be the biggest e-gaming sport happening in Saudi Arabia in 2029 as well.
Oh my God.
So you can imagine so many things are happening.
Yes. I would love to hear all about
I would love to stay here for a full day, but
yes,
I know that we have a tight time.
That is right. I mean, like other 13 projects,
yes.
Giga projects.
Yes.
Fahad, thank you very much for being here with us.
It's my pleasure.
Always welcome to Brazil, especially to Goiânia. And I would like to say that Saudi contributes a lot to this ecosystem, and I'm pretty sure that after this event in particular, we're going to be another city because we've been, we saw what multicultural can do and what innovation and technology is all about.
Absolutely. I would like to leave the audience with one thing, if you don't mind.
Perfect.
If you are interested in Saudi, I would highly recommend you to come to Saudi. See everything with your own eyes. It's happening. You can believe what's happening in Saudi. It's your time. It's your opportunity. Come invest in Saudi, and it's never too late. And we're going to welcome everyone to come to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Thank you very much, Marcus, for hosting us.
Thank you very much. Pessoal, é isso daí. Pode ir na PAN, com muito entretenimento, muita cultura, pessoas incríveis, uma constelação realmente e, claro, informação mais do que incrível aqui. A Arábia Saudita em foco. Vamos lá, G20, faz esse ano. Esse evento é show demais. Forte abraço para vocês e a gente se vê.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Fahad.
Thank you, Marcus. It was a very interesting call.
Oh, it was nice.
Yes.
Man.